Joey Reese and Billy Blue Chop. Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joey Reese and Billy Blue Chop. Pickle time is happening.
Hey guys, I just wanted to start us as fast as possible because Joe is just throwing out gems. Gold gems. Yeah. Is gold a gem? No. But it maybe gold encrusted gems. How about some of that, Joe?
I'm worried here. I am worried about my microphone here because your sound waves at the bottom are all normal and mine, it's so small that it doesn't even, so I don't know.
Yours does look small on my end.
Check.
Can you turn up your mic? You know, there's like a little flippy thing, a little circle, and you turn it, and it's like more mic, more headphone.
Check.
Oh, that's more. You got more.
Check.
That's too much. You've gone too far. That's way too much.
Check.
I feel like you're yelling at me. I feel like it's last week's Patreon edition.
What about now? Am I still yelling at you?
A little bit less. Go down a little bit. A little bit more.
Check.
A little bit more. Go down a little bit more.
Check. 1, 2.
Say something really nice.
I love your nuts.
Thank you, Joe. That sounds like it's a good level. I'm going to switch back to my other headphones, which nobody's seen yet. And this is where your Patreon money is going to. A lot of you guys don't sponsor us, and it's your loss because I'm going to show you what I just bought on eBay.
And those look like the headphones from your elementary school in 1980. I'm going to say circa 83.
Yeah. Because Era is obsessed with watching Stranger Things. We're watching it for the third time now. And those guys had these. And I was like, holy crap, I wonder if I could get a pair of those. I miss them. And yes, you can. That's what eBay is for, guys.
Yeah. And is there a reason that they went the way of the buffalo?
It sounds like you're in a tin can.
Yeah, that's
it really does. It's like with a string going to your house. I hear you. There's no bass, like nothing. It's all just like high mids and highs.
Ugh.
But
I can't do that.
Think how many kids got misdiagnosed with hearing problems, and it was just this. They were like, man, those are shit headphones.
It's like listening to Led Zeppelin.
Uh-huh. What?
Ugh.
You don't like Led Zeppelin?
No, I like maybe one song of theirs. I think we've talked about it on here before. I have tried to enjoy Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd at different stages of my life. Like I've been like, is it like taste buds? Does it change? There's other bands that I hated once before and I like now.
How do you like the Grateful Dead and not Pink Floyd?
I don't know. I don't like Pink Floyd.
Here's the deal. I don't like either one of them, but I'm at least like, oh, Pink Floyd can find a chorus. Like they got to that part in their music writing.
I'll give up Pink Floyd another chance because I think I always go Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I always go Zeppelin when I try and do this, like rethink it. So I'll try Pink Floyd, but so I've always done kind of Zeppelin and dabbled in a little Floyd, and it's just a no for me.
Yeah.
Well, Netflix just recently came out with a new Led Zeppelin documentary.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to watch this because, you know how sometimes if you watch like from where the band began, it kind of draws you into them a little bit more. So that's what I did, but it didn't. I cannot. I love the Immigrant song.
Yeah, I like that too. And when the levee breaks, like just that, like the drums at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
I'm with you.
I'm not exactly for sure if I know that song either, but
I'm not. Like I would not say I'm a fan. I like the idea of Led Zeppelin. I do think they are like grifters. Like they just kind of did well at kind of like bringing in other people's styles and like capitalizing off of it. But that's rock. That's like all of rock history is just like assimilating other people's stuff into yours, and people like Led Zeppelin. Like, I like that it kind of pushed forward what I grew up listening to, which was like metal. You know, like it pushed that along.
Yeah, they were definitely the branch on the tree
Yeah.
that connects to the trunk that sent metal.
Yeah, they're like, this is
You know.
blues, but we're gonna make it sound like dirty and louder and like more aggressive.
Yeah, but listening to them, I couldn't get into them. I still can't get into them, and I don't like the look of them. Like I can't stand that look.
Okay.
I think I've narrowed it down that like maybe I don't like psychedelic
taste.
rock. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't either.
So-
I'm with you. Like, I don't think anything you have to smoke pot to enjoy it is good music. Like,
Right.
that's fine. Like, if you like doing drugs and then you listen to it and that makes you happy, that's fine. But like, stop trying to make us listen to your shitty band that you have to be high to listen to.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about Pink Floyd. They do have some really good songs, or some, you know, like where it's not just like, I'm not like, this is hippie jam music, where it's just like doodling around. They find a chorus and it's good. Like, hey, teachers, leave those kids alone. You know, like there's some stuff
Yeah.
in there, but like the vast majority of it, I don't get. I'm okay, guys.
Yeah,
if you do like it, that's fine. It's just not my thing.
I know as much about Floyd as I do about ELO. So I'll go back this week and do a kind of a deep dive on Floyd. Because like I said, I did it on Zeppelin and I still cannot stand Zeppelin. And what's funny is I text my mom. And so my mom would have been 12, 13 years old when Zeppelin started making it big.
Mm-hmm.
And so I text my mom and I'm like, Mom, were you ever a Zeppelin fan? And she was like, no, not at all. She's like, I said, were you ever a Zeppelin or Floyd fan? And she said, no, never got into them. It like wasn't my thing. And here's what's funny is my mom, who knows nothing about like recording or verbiage that you would use. And this goes back to what you were saying about the other headphones. My mom was like, I don't know if this makes sense, but I want to say when I listen to those bands, it sounds tinny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mom, you nailed it. I was like, even though they had John Paul Jones destroying it on bass, you don't hear that bass. It seems like it's a lot of high, mid, and then high
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
And I can't do it.
So the mix is also like a hurdle you're not willing to go over. Did I send you that YouTube of, it was the ladies from Heart singing, or it was, I think, all Heart, but then it was like John Bonham's son playing drums, and they played Stairway to Heaven at the Kennedy Center.
I don't think so.
I'll see it. I'll watch this thing like once a year and just weep. Like, it depends on how much I've been drinking, guys. But like, I will hear it and you watch it and it is gorgeous. Like, I've never been like, Stairway's such a good song. Like, I think it's a punchline to a joke, you know, like that's a funny part of Wayne's World, but it is beautiful. It is gorgeous. If you see it on YouTube, it's the Kennedy Center honors Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven. Unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. And I'll see it and I'll still be like, oh, I know what's going to happen here. They're going to pan over and show the guys in Led Zeppelin. I still cry. Like, it's fucking amazing.
Like I'm not gonna doubt anything that you said or knock it, because your feelings are your feelings.
Yeah.
That's another one of those songs that whenever it's come on in my life, I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get.
I feel the same way, dude. I am with you. Like, I don't get all the hype. If it was like some kid if it was like a band you just went to see, you'd be like, those guys are doing all right. But if it's like a band, and this happens to me a lot with bands, like if it's like essential to people's being and they're like, this is the coolest band, the Doors, like when people are like, I love the Doors so much, they're so good. And I'm like, no, I don't get it one bit. I don't get, like, the lyrics don't do anything for me. The singing, the musicianship, you can be like, that keyboard player's all right, but those songs aren't good. They're not good to me. And then you watch the movie The Doors and you're like, how fast can this guy kill himself?
Please, can I just fast forward?
Please get this guy heroin faster.
Oh no.
That's awful to say, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I kind of felt that way. I was like, this is what ruined Val Kilmer's career. Like, he went so far into this, he couldn't come back. Oh,
I know. And obviously you'd consider Doors psychedelic rock, right?
yeah. You know what? It is a good movie. It's the topic. It is the topic. Like, if they made that movie about ELO, I'd be like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. You know, or like Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, I guess if you don't like Queen, you would be like, oh, it's an okay movie, but I hate that band. But like, for me, I'm just like crying. So
No.
good. So
Like
good.
Queen is so good.
Yeah.
And their hits are just amazing. But I can't get into the hits of those bands. Like I said, I like the Immigrant Song.
Yeah.
But and maybe there's like the one that you just said from Pink Floyd, Teachers Leave the Kids Alone. Like, I enjoyed that song. That's why I want to do a deeper dive into Floyd and see if my tastes have changed with them. Because like I said, I'm always more, whenever I try and revisit, it's always more Zeppelin that I try and go for.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess there's just people out there that if they hear Suicide Machine's Destruction by Definition, they're going to go, ugh, like, what's that? Like, no, thank you. And to me, that blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind that Destruction by Definition isn't everyone's favorite punk album.
It's so good. I can get like the way it sounds. It's aggressive. And like punk is in this like kind of narrow spectrum of sound. There's nothing relaxing about that album. Like nothing that is not just like, I'm a 15-year-old kid and I'm so full of testosterone.
Yeah. My nuts are just filled to the brim.
But like even today, you hear it and you still feel that. You're just like, oh my gosh, I want to get in a pit and I want to just like throw some elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play it in the locker room at work and people are like, what is this? Like younger coworkers that are mid 20s to 30. What is this? And then I'm like, Suicide Machines, and they're like, who are they? I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like in our backyard. They're you know
from your town.
They're just like, are you kidding me? So but I think Suicide Machines and Less Than Jake are coming to town.
Oh, that's rad.
It's Less Than Jake, Suicide Machines, and Fishbone.
If those guys were from Denver, that would be a conversation I could have with kids. Be like, dude, they're from here. But like in Detroit, you just be like Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Yeah, technically like, Stevie Wonder is Grand Rapids, but we still claim him as Motown, right?
But I mean, like, if you're talking about Motown, you could just be like, almost any band. You just like, come on, dude, just shut up. You can't. It's like crazy. Detroit's just unbelievably stacked with rock and roll history.
And what I love is the Motown history that like you can look at a map of Detroit and within like 4 square miles, and Detroit is huge. Detroit's bigger than Boston, San Francisco, and like Seattle put together. Like as far as square miles, it's huge. Excuse me, it's huge. It's blight, but it's huge. But you take this one small area, this like 4 square mile area back in like the 60s, and all the groups that came out, like Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross,
Smokey Robinson,
the Temptations, like all these people, like
and like
every now and then
still going,
somebody
like
pulled
the Commodores. All
Yeah,
it just keeps going. Like it went for like 30 years.
yeah. And you can like pull I think at the Motown Museum there's a little like movie that you watch, and it's like someone opens a yearbook to like one of the Detroit high schools, and there's like 8 millionaire singers like in that, like not 8, let's say 3 or 4, but there's
in
like
one class.
in one class.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is crazy. Like that amount of talent
Oh yeah.
and stardom that was in like, I always equate it to like, we had me, Nate, Al Brown, and Sarah Mason all attended our high school. And then Sarah Mason's sister married the dude from Switchfoot.
Yeah.
So like that was always my thing, is like, yeah, well, Motown was great, but in the Christian scene, Kimball High School
did it.
Yeah, they produced The Insiders, Sarah Mason, and the better half of Switchfoot.
So speaking of the Christian scene, I put this on our notes, but I probably did it late. Talk about, I don't even know if you want to talk about this or we should, but we did have like this whole thing, this back and forth thing about Kevin Max. And now there's this huge thing like all over the news about Michael Tate.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Do you know much about it?
Yeah, I've read up on it, and more stuff is coming out. So as far as today, let's make clear today is Wednesday, June 18th.
Yeah.
So as far as so if you're listening next week and more stuff has come out that we don't know about, but as far as June 18th, I think I'm up to date on most of the allegations.
Yeah. So the allegations against Michael Tate are that, and he came out with a statement saying that he was doing drugs and alcohol, that he is homosexual, and that he hid it, and that he hurt people doing that. So he's like come out. I'm paraphrasing, guys, so forgive me if I've gotten it wrong, and forgive me, Michael Tate, if I've said something out of turn. But like he has come out with this statement. So what led up to this was there were like, it was kind of like being hinted at in like off-brand like Christian blogs and stuff, like Christian music.
They said the worst
stuff.
kept secret in Christian music.
Yeah. And then it came out, this guy wrote an article for The Guardian and it blew up about this. And I know this dude, like he has, he's like on the Five Iron Frenzy, like I Hate Five Iron Frenzy board. I'm like a friend with him on like, on Facebook.
The fellow that wrote the article.
Yeah. And so he actually wrote me like a month ago and he's like, hey, I'm writing this article about Michael Tate. What do you know about him? And I did know stuff about him. Like I know it because the W's went on tour with him and they told me stuff. But then I was like, this feels gross. Like, and I just told him like, you need to talk to these people because I'm not going to be the one that's telling you, I heard this from these guys that went on tour with them. Like that, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to say like, I don't want to say something to be quoted and this be like a thing. I was like, you should talk to the guys in the W's. All I know about DC Talk and all I know about Michael Tate came from them.
Yeah, same. I mean, he didn't contact me, but same. When we would do our tours, I think when we did a Holy Roller tour,
yeah,
and stuff like with the W's, the stuff that, and that was
they told you stuff because they had just gotten off that tour.
Yeah,
yeah,
and so when we started this podcast and we were like, let's talk about stuff that go behind the scenes, I'm going to be honest with you. That's the one topic we've never brought up, we've never discussed, that we both now knew about,
Yeah.
but never said anything because, it's like, hey, let's talk about what goes on behind the things. And in our early podcast, we're like, what was the worst band you ever toured with? What was this? What was that? And there was always this topic surrounding like DC Talk and stuff like that we just never touched.
Yeah.
Like, you never brought it up to me. I never brought it up to you. We just never talked about it.
One, I think it's gossip. Like, I think if
100%.
and that is hurtful. Like, we're cautioned against it in both the Old and New Testaments. And then, like in our lives, like, I don't like that. It feels gross.
Yeah, we kind of did that with Kevin Max, though.
But like, I can tell you stories about my interactions with Kevin Max.
Me too. Yeah.
That's not gossip. That is like me being like, this guy did this and it was weird. Like,
yeah,
and same with you, like, this happened and it's weird. Like, here's my story about this. Like, I could tell you a story that I heard about Jackie Velasquez from the drummer from Ace Troubleshooter, but I'm not going to, because that's gossip. It's not, I was not there. I can't confirm it. What I think, like, the overall arcing.
But you're going to text me that one. You're going to text me the
Sure.
gist of that one.
But like, what I think is the crazy thing about this is that we worked in an industry, like, we made our living trying to be legitimate. Like, we tried to make good music that was legitimate, to go to places where we could share the love of Christ. And what that was this dirty ass industry that was using people to make money, using people's love of Jesus, and using their need for like a false sense of safety, and to feel like they belonged. Like, you could go to school and you could be like, I also like rock music. Here's my favorite band, and they sound just like Nirvana, or they can rap too. Like, that whole industry, we made our living in, both you and I, but we also hated it. Like, hated the fact that how dirty it was. And I think we pushed against it. Like, we'll be like, yeah, we'll play your church, but then we're going to go play this club. Like, we'll play your church for the money. I get it. Like, these kids need to hear this. They need to hear good music. They need to not just be exposed to DC Talk. Then they need to do this. So, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like you and I, in much of this podcast, we've just talked about, like, that aspect of Christianity, or of evangelical American subculture, super dirty. Like, it's super gross. And what you see in this is just like, it's 30 years too late, but it's falling apart. Michael Tate, like, I don't know what he did, because the allegations are that he groomed people. Now, part of it is like, he groomed 22-year-olds, which I don't think that's the same as grooming a minor.
I agree.
That he drugged people, which is illegal, and then he did sexual things with them while they were drugged. Like, those are serious allegations. Those are crimes. He hasn't gone to court. I don't even know if he's been tried or charged with anything. This is just out there. People are accusing him of this. What I think needs to be on trial immediately is that industry and that culture, where we're like, these guys are so good. This is like, you don't have to listen to Nirvana because that's dangerous. Listen to DC Talk, Jesus Freak. because it's safe. And here was this guy who was an amazing singer. Like, when I've met him, he was a great guy. He was very nice and kind. And like, I felt like this guy's cool. I wish I could be that guy. But he also was gay, and he couldn't be both because that industry made it, like, wrong to do that, wrong to be gay. It's right to pretend like you're straight, and it's right to pretend like you're super Christian when, like, you're struggling with the same shit we all do. You're drinking. Guy said he admits to doing cocaine. Like, those would be some great songs. Like, but we were denied that because we built this whole thing, or we accepted this whole package that was false, and just like straight up across the line. Like, most of that industry is fake. It's mostly lies. You would get people on the outside that were in there and they would buck against it, like Keith Green and Rich Mullins. But for the most part, it's fake. And I'm not saying all those people are wrong or they're lying to you, but like, you're being lied to for money. Like, it's not real. This is not right. And it's not right, I think, for him. And I'm not saying he didn't go away, buy into it or make millions doing it. I do remember the W's telling me what their take-home pay was for each show on that tour. And this is what was it, 2000, 2001, when we do that tour with the W's? Holy Roller?
I think it was like 99.
Yeah. So their take-home pay, according to the W's, was over $1 million each show for each one of those dudes. So, like,
that's more than I make in a year.
Like 100, say you play like for 3 months, like, you and I'd be done. Like, I'd be like, I don't have to work anymore. I just put this in a bank and I can live off the interest.
Yeah.
But like, that's insane.
Yeah.
So there was lots of money to be made. Lots of money. And I mean, like, you and I being musicians, like, we didn't get the majority of the money from our albums. That went to the record companies and to the distributor, Yeah. And we got $1.32.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot too. And I want everyone that hears me to not twist my words, to not take what I'm saying the wrong way. As we go through this, as we talk about it, I want to talk about kind of like the facts that have come out, or the I don't necessarily even know if they're facts, the allegations that have come out, and to kind of go through them and kind of pick them apart. And as I've done that in my head, just like you just talked about, there's been like a lot of things that have been on my mind. And through that 90s culture, like, we're going back hindsight, right? Like, hindsight is 2020. And we look back, and this podcast is about like looking back on that and ripping on it and seeing how in 2025, that 90s Christian culture, that Christian scene was damaging in a way. And on the other side of the coin, it was good in a way. It had its good and it had its bad. The fans, the way that they put Christian stars on pedestals, the way fans look and say, hey, that guy sings, or that woman sings in a Christian band, they are faultless, is asinine.
Yeah.
It is asinine to think that the Christian artists that you listen to each and every week, every Sunday, the Hillsong Unite, to think that, like, if you think right now that all these Christian bands that you listen to are the most perfect, like, musicians and artists and that's why they're in a Christian band because they're perfect. I don't know what planet you live on, because everyone is flawed. Every pastor that pastors a church is flawed.
Yeah.
We are all human beings. And so, just like you said, he was a dude who struggled, in the 90s, the noughties, with homosexuality. We talked about it with Cecil and how you had to hide he felt like he had to hide everything because of Jesus's followers, and so someone like Tate, I can understand it. Now, the allegations that have come out, he's admitted and said he did have a drug and alcohol problem.
Yeah.
And he said, even though he disputes the details of his accusers, he says the general umbrella of unwanted touching and stuff happened. It's just, he says he's not going to get into it, but as the details he says are incorrect, but the overall theme is correct.
Yeah.
And so I'm with you. And this is one of those things that when you start talking in 2025 and you start breaking things down, people get upset and they call it victim shaming and they call it all these different things. I'm not victim shaming. I want on this show, partly because of my job, I want to kind of look at different things. Now, I posted something on our Facebook page, Diabolical page, when it came out. Someone said something about it. Somebody posted it, and I was like, I hope he gets the help he needs. He could be, forgiven, get his life back together, and I hope he does make a comeback. And, people kind of made comments on, well, the victims, and I agree with you at the point when I made that, since there's been minor allegations. At the time that I made that statement, everybody was in their 20s or older that the allegations had come out. I want people to understand something. There's been no police reports as far as June 18th, 2025 that has come out. No police reports have been filed by any victims, okay? Those that a couple of the stories that it talked about someone who's 22 years old that was skinny dipping with Michael Tate. Went back to his room and enjoyed drugs and alcohol throughout the night, was skinny dipping with him, went back to his room. He said Tate offered him his bed to come sleep with him in his bed. He got into Michael Tate's bed, and then he said he woke up in the evening being fondled.
Mm-hmm.
I understand no means no. And I understand that I can skinny dip with a man. I can do drugs and alcohol with a man. And if a dude says, hey, want to sleep in my bed, I can sleep in a dude's bed. And none of that says you can touch my no-no square. However, that's not grooming.
Yeah.
That's the issue to me. Now there's other ones, unwanted touching. Someone said that they were
drugged.
Drugged backstage something, and he grabbed them. Absolutely, that's assault.
Yeah.
Make a police report.
If that really happened,
report.
Yes. And I'm just going to go out and say, just before it comes out in the press, I have groped most of the guys in my band, and they did not want it. We have a thing called Don't Tap the Tip, and I can't stop doing it. I cannot stop hitting those guys in the penis. I can't. I have a real problem, guys. But just in case it comes out, because it is unwanted, I'm still not going to stop. I'm going to keep hitting them in the penis every show. Sonny, I'm coming for you.
So I want people to understand, like, there's no victim shaming. If a crime was committed against you, report that crime. I want to see that crime followed through to the utmost.
Yeah.
But I have an issue, I think, because of my job. I have an issue where allegations are made and people are judged in a court of the people, a court of opinion, and nothing ever goes to court. And so somebody, male or female's life is trashed when nothing ever goes to court. And I understand there's times where things do, but it's tough for me. It's tough for me to have allegations where nobody files a police report.
Yeah.
And I find it weird, to come out and maybe you're interviewed by a journalist and you make all these statements and those statements are going out on this platform. Well, why are you doing that? Like, why are you doing that? Like, if it was a crime, was a police report filed in 1998 when that happened, or 1995, or 2007, or 2017? So I don't know that that's difficult for me to rationalize. Now, I have heard things since that there's been minors, like a 17-year-old and things like that. That is concerning, and that is awful there if it steps into the realm of a minor.
Yeah.
But as far as adults go, I think an adult has that, the situation that I said, I think there's a lot of, and people might not want to hear this, but I think there's a lot of things that went along there that somebody could have said, I don't like the way this night is going, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he's been treating me, I'm leaving. I'm not, things got weird skinny dipping, I'm leaving. He offered me cocaine.
Skinny dipping. I'm not going to go into his bed with him.
Yeah.
Like, there's several points where an adult could have made like a better choice.
Yeah. And so if you're
but
not,
still, I mean, like if that is really what happened, this all happened, he woke up, he was being fondled, he didn't have consent. It's still wrong.
It is wrong. And so I would like a police report, because what a police report does is says, I'm willing to put my life to match it to his. So when you don't do a police report and you go into the public opinion, you can ruin their life, but you don't have any collateral that you're putting up.
Right.
But if you make that police report and you're saying this happened, and if it didn't, and if I'm lying, and if I'm hoaxing this guy and I'm trying to get money, then you can be charged for falsifying a police report.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't like, is when somebody can ruin somebody else's life, but they're not putting up their own collateral.
Yeah.
That's what's difficult for me as an adult to rationalize there.
I hear you. Like, yeah, I mean, like, if there are minors involved, it is for sure a crime.
100%. There's no argument.
If any of those people were like, hey, I don't like this, and he didn't stop, also a crime, like
1,000% agree. Yeah.
It is, I think the thing I think is the grossest is kind of just that industry created this scenario where, like, I don't know if Michael Tate did these things, or, like, if he is like a predator or does these things, but like, for sure you made a world where, like, he couldn't be this great singer and also be gay, right, or also drink, or do cocaine, like do cocaine.
What would people know? What would people think if they know I'm the cocaine freak? Oh,
yeah, I mean, awful.
Like, sorry guys, sorry you had to hear that.
Well, because so much of like what Christianity has become is just like this image of being good. And if you break from that, either you're good always, or you were bad and you turned good. And there's no such thing as good. I think that's anathema to the gospel. You're not going to make it. You're not going to be good. You need a savior. You need help. Everyone needs help. And when you're doing good, you should be helping others. That's the gospel. That is the character and the message of Christ. And we want kind of like these golden gods, these golden calves of like the Christian music industry, or our pastors to be perfect and all these things. And we keep getting surprised that they let us down.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Hang on. Kara is cranking it over there. Okay.
What?
She's
That means something different here in Michigan.
Oh, what does it mean? You do crank?
Yeah.
She's watching something, it seems like, about Nirvana, and I just had to tell her to turn it down a little bit. I don't know. I'm glad we talked about that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it this week as well and touch on it, because it's obviously something big, and I think it goes back to this. Like, I made a statement that he would always be welcome in this community.
Yeah.
And then there's the caveat with like the minors, and you're like, okay, well, now is he still, welcome in this community? And there's this side of me that wants to be PC and be like, well, if that's true, then no. But there's also the side of me that is bigger than Joe, and it's to me, I want to say like it's Christ in my heart, and that the community that we've built here are people who are either on fire for Jesus, or their flame is not burning bright because they're working on things and they're working through things, or it's people who have completely walked away from the faith. However, they're here for a reason, and they engage with us week to week, and they listen week after week. Even though they've walked away from the faith, they put up with all our talking, and they put up with all that, which makes me think there's something in there that even though they walked away, or they claim to not follow Christ anymore, there's something in there. Otherwise, why would you listen to this drivel, right? So with everyone who's out there who listens, from all the stuff that you've been through in your life, and if you were that DC Talk singer, how would you be looked at under a microscope? How would I be looked at under a microscope for things that I've done in my life? Like, a sin is a sin is a sin. And it does not surprise, like when that came out, I was like, here's the next one. I wasn't like, oh my gosh. It was just like, okay, here's another one that it's come out. But there's nothing about me that's shocked, that thinks that anybody is above reproach. And if there's people out there that are like, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely shocked. Are you? We're all human beings. Like, we all struggle. We all deal with stuff. And I don't get it.
Well, and I think like people saying it's like the best kept secret in the Christian music industry, like you and I heard those things, that he was gay
30 years ago.
Yeah. And we're just like, I'm not going to talk about it. Like, I'm not going to make this be the thing. That band sucks. Like, their music sucks. It is.
I don't know that when he was singing for Newsboys and they did the cover of King of Kings, that is a banger.
Let's DC Talk though. I've never heard a DC Talk song where I'm just like, holy crap, these guys are good. they push the envelope. Like I hear the musicianship. I know the guys who are the musicians. They're making those guys sound good. Like you're never like Toby Mac is the best rapper of all time. Michael Tate has a good voice. Kevin Max, sure.
Sounds like a sheep.
Yeah, but like you're like nobody who's heard good music is like that band is amazing. They're like, okay, cool. None of us got it. Like none of us in the music circles were like these guys. Like with Switchfoot, I'm like, hell yes, they deserve all the arenas. They're so good. They're such cool people. But like DC Talk, I would just be like, I'm not going to, like, I don't like this. It's not my thing. It's fake. But like, people like it. And I'm not going to just take a shit on it because it's fake. Like, we all knew this. We all knew it. You know, like, we knew Michael Tate was gay because we heard it, you know, or whatever. But like, to us, like, that is not what you do with Jesus. You're not like, oh, I'm going to ruin this band because they're pretending to be straight heterosexual guys who do everything right.
What did Cecil say? It's called passing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, there's, I don't know. I mean, like, even then, where my theology was like, I felt like being homosexual was a sin, but we're all sinners and it's not mine, so I'm just going to shut up. Like, even then, I would just shut up. Like, that's between him and God.
Mm-hmm.
His shitty music, also between him and God.
Well, I don't know about that. If you put it out there, it's between all of us.
Uh-huh. We let that happen.
Yeah. If that touches my eardrums, then you brought me into the fight.
That's what I'm guilty of, is not talking more shit about their music. I am guilty of that. I could have said
if we could go back in time, I would take the super tones out of the punchline that we did for the first couple of years and just replace it with DC Talk. Yeah.
True. All right, we got to read our patronizers' names. All right. Have you thought about this yet? Not me. Oh, I kind of am ready. You want to hear it?
Yeah, well, I do want to let everybody know that if this is the first time you've ever listened to this, because I'm sure us talking about Michael Tate is going to draw tons of listens, and we're going to get tons of new people tuning into the show to hear our amazing...
literal tons.
Yeah, review of all the stuff that happens in Christian pop culture. But if this is your first time, what we're doing now is we have a Patreon where you get about an extra 4 hours a month of extra drivel that we talk about and nonsense. And there's a $2, there's a $5, a $10. And so our $5 and $10 listeners, when they sign up on Patreon, we read their name, so they can put anything they want. If they have a candle company, they can put their candle company as their name, so people can check them out. They can do whatever they want to do. Just like the first person here, it's boobs. It's just boobs.
It is.
Is their name? It's a parenthesis,
period,
a period, the
Y,
capital letter Y, a period, and another parenthesis, which forms boobs, or it forms thighs. It could be thighs.
Thighs, and you have like a pimple where the nipple is,
like just kind of the top of the kneecap.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know, but we're going boobs with it. But yeah, so that's who you're listening to, is our supporters that are a part of this community. We're still holding 97. We need to get that number down. So
people joined this week. I get those things on the Patreon. I get like an email and it's like, you got a new person. Like,
oh my gosh, what are people?
Well,
hopefully they'll hear this and leave.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. You want me to start or you?
You do it. You started with boobs.
Okay, we got Boogs, we got Amelia Thompson, we got Amy Pootermobile Landers. And to think that in some countries, these dogs are eaten. Another fart joke. I'm 12 in a 50-year-old body. Arise, arise, riders of Theoden.
I'm
Benjamin
into this.
Lewis, Betty Drizzler. Oh, Betty Drillser. Betty Drillser.
Oh, Betty Drillser.
Bill Shannon, Brian Fisher, Brian, Bryce Turner, Buddy Van Steen, Carly Jane Cisco, Cat Fart Sandwich, Chad Has a Hog, Chris Prose, Colonel Angus, Dan Stemple, Dave, David Love, David Vossel, Diwana Wanga, Derek Bond, Derek Sigmund, Don Kidek. I used that name twice already signing up on lists. Doug Forsett, Eli Salazar, Emery LaFleur, Emily Thomas, First Church of the Failure Puddle, Mark Dyke, Frank G, Greasy Groper, LMD, Heather Ford. How the hell did you get the beans above the Frank? Obviously a reference from Something About Mary. That movie at that moment, how did you get the beans above the Frank? And then it showed it.
Yeah.
It showed the nuts zipped up in the zipper. It was the only time in my life I was on the floor. I dropped to my knees in the movie theater. I was laughing so hard, sounds were coming out of me that had never come out of me in a laugh before. I'd rather not say. It's so hot, milk was a bad choice. It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. A little stained. Jared Cramblett, Jason Paolo, Jenny Blake, Jeremy Thomas, Joe Curtis, Joel Blaine. That sounds like a new one.
That
Maybe
is
not.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Moe, Jordan Heilman, Josh Fennel, Katie Bott Nickeltron.
Ken Kazapla, ketchup sandwich. Everyone likes sandwiches. Thank you, Peter J. Hutchinson. Kevin Ness, Kevin Porter, Kristen Diesel, Kyle. Lay Tired. Mao Bud Ho Hurts. Lay Tired came back. She left and then came back. No, it's My Bud Whole Hurts. My Bud Whole Hurts. Mandarin will be the biggest FIF fan at the Orlando show.
Prove it.
Prove it. Martin Anus. Matt Douglas. Mayor Goldie Wilson.
Oh, just watched that the other day. Oh,
Okay.
That's Daniel Rock.
Dang it. He hates when we do that. My card info keeps getting stolen. Mr. Jason, I can't handle the truth, Davis. Nate Phillips. Nick Butterfield. Nick Frazier. Nicole Bauer. Oh my God, that's my mom's most
Wait, you missed
favorite piece.
Nick Reyes.
Did I? Nick Reyes. Nicole
Yeah.
Bauer. Oh my God, that's my mom's most favorite piece. Ali Tabuger.
Who's that? Goonies?
Is it? Yeah.
Oh my God, that's my mom's favorite piece.
Ollie Tabuger.
Ali to Booger.
Patrick Johns. Paul Peterson. Phil. Pooh. That's a pretty good one. It's just
Yeah.
Pooh. Reed Young. Rob Phelps. Robert ran out of funny ideas 3 names ago, Snyder. Shauna Melton Walker. Silent but definitely not Deadly Steve. Skin it. Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens. What is the
Oh.
theme this week?
I don't know. Skin It. Is it Corey Feldman movies? Skin It.
Maybe.
Because that's what Stand By Me.
Okay. And then he's also in The Goonies. Sonny Johnston. So you're telling me there's a chance. Steven Seberg. Stephen Morrow. Super Dave. the fire-breathing penguin. The morels of Reese leave mushroom for questions. Tim Payne, Tim Primu, Todd Grassman, Turd Ferguson, Twanto, Tyler McDonald, Tyson Stegall. You guys look great in gold. Have I told you that? Zachary Faircloth. That's all.
That's it. We'll
Thanks,
see you
guys.
guys.
54 minutes of complete trash. We hope you
Yep.
hate it.